Wow. Definitely one of those things that I did not get into when I was a child.
Well, great, because we're about to watch a lot of superhero stuff for the next like hour or so. All right, let's get.
That's cool.
I've got a lot of stuff to show you in very little time because this game has a lot of shit in it. You got your single player, your multiplayer, your online. You can customize characters, and then you have loot boxes.
What? What is with this freaking trend of loot boxes? It's really annoying.
Yeah, well, in this game, it's pretty great. And they're not.
Okay.
They're not. It's Let's see. Where should we start here? I guess I can start with. I have finished the story. It's not particularly long. Let's see. I'll look at let's pick a chapter here.
I don't think the first one was really long either, though.
No, it was about 4 or 5 hours long, and it's very similar to the first Injustice and even the what was that? The Mortal Kombat games with their cinematic stories. They're probably the best stories in the in fighting games, like story modes in fighting games. Not a high bar. Just usually fighting game story modes are pretty bland, but I digress.
Yeah, they have the tendency to be like over the top, and I don't know if this is like politically correct or not, but Japanesey. If that makes sense.
That's the politically correct term for very anime.
Okay, yeah, that's basically what I mean.
All right, let's jump in here. We've got Harley Quinn here. The story picks up a few years after the end of the first one. Superman is still a dickhole, and he's in prison. And now the true threat is Brainiac. Picking up here, we got Swamp Thing here. You know who Swamp Thing is, Brittany?
I do not. But you know what the thing that was always confusing with me for the first game is, like, I mean, I'm not very familiar with the canon of, like, comic books or anything, but I didn't realize that Superman was such an asshole.
He generally is not. He's usually the Boy Scout, and that's why people tend to not like his character. I would say that this series has one of the better takes on Superman, at least entertainment-wise for me, and that he's a total asshole the entire time. He becomes a dictator, and he gets pretty screwed. He gets screwed over pretty hard in the first one. Like the love of his life, he murders the love of his life on accident and blows up Metropolis also on accident. So because of the Joker, so he had a rough go of it. And also, let me introduce Supergirl here. She plays a big part in the story of this one. This is her introduction to this series.
Now, does this have anything to do with the popularity of the TV show or something? Is that why they ended up bringing her into it?
I'm not. She's a big enough character, I think. I mean, there are some very obscure characters in this game, and I'll go over the roster with you after we get out of the story mode. But she's a big enough character to where I think she would have been in it regardless.
How can we make you more comfortable?
But I have not seen the show. I've watched The Flash and Green Arrow. I have not watched Supergirl before, though.
You've taught me what my powers can do. This world
Yeah, I think I tried to watch Arrow originally when it started, but it was just one of those things where, because I was never really into the comic books or anything, it was hard for me to keep up with. Like, the superhero storylines are just always from, like, I don't know, it's just difficult for me.
I'm not afraid of some
Yeah, comics are hard. Most of my comic book knowledge comes from things that aren't comics, like TV shows and games. Because just getting into comics is kind of daunting when you realize all the different storylines and how many you have to get to read it all.
Oh, I know. And I have friends who are really into it, and they just have like boxes and containers of comics. And I mean, even though they're cheap individually, that can end up being way too expensive for my liking.
Yeah. But I don't think you need a knowledge of comics to enjoy the storyline. It's standalone enough, and it's pretty good overall. It has plenty of moments where they kind of just throw a fight in there to basically to have an excuse to have a character or two in the game for a split second, so they can justify them being on the roster. But other than that, it flows pretty well. It has a good ending. and it looks really good too. It's very seamless when it jumps into the fights, which we'll get to in a second here.
Yeah, I had seen something the other day where people were kind of like on either side of the fence as far as the facial animations go. Like some people were saying that it's a little too like Uncanny Valley, and then other people were saying that it's very strange looking, like the way that their faces move is not natural.
I mean,
we're at a weird point, I feel like, in games right now, where they don't really know what is too much.
Yeah, it's... And, you know, facial capture is hard and expensive, and some... Like, compared to games like Uncharted and the like, I mean, it's not quite that good. But I think this game looks very good overall, and it looks really good in motion. So, when you're not looking like these close-up shots of their faces, more when they're pulled back in the fights. And the special moves especially look very good. This is
interesting. This is how they bring in Winston.
Yeah, this is a Winston. He's pissed that no one plays as him online very often, and so he brought his friends along. He's got Cat Lady, Mask Man, Bigger Mask Man, Plants, and Icy, and Cats.
Listen, as someone who suffers yearly from horrible allergies, plants are pretty fucking dangerous.
That is Poison Ivy. I do know who all those characters are. Anyone listening? And I knew who they were before this game. There is at least one character on the roster that I'd never heard of before.
Low self-esteem.
I mean, I feel like you're just kind of taking my whole shtick where I just make up names for people that I don't know.
So you do that in real life, though.
They're headed indoors, out of sight from the soldiers. Harley, keep the jet warm. When we signal, bail us out.
I mean, there's a couple I'm looking at. Obviously, I do recognize them because of their, like, classic costumes and stuff, but, you know, I don't know who this biker-looking chick is. You said that that's Supergirl, or...?
The biker chick is Black Canary.
Okay. I was not even close.
Yeah, she's actually in the Arrow eventually. So she's probably not as obscure now as she would have been before.
As long as we have a common
She's a big part of the Green Arrow comics, from what I understand.
You mean as long as we follow your orders?
And Cheetah
and is that like what's her name, Alloy from Horizon when she turns into a cat?
Yeah, that's it's the twist ending of Horizon. I'm sorry everyone that I spoiled it for you, but yes, Alloy becomes a cat at the end of Horizon.
Damn, see, like, I didn't even get a chance to watch it yet.
Yeah.
I guess it's one of those Spider-Man type things. She got bit by some kind of, like, cat thing, and then she turned into him.
Yeah, it's a pretty brutal scene, too. Like, if anyone's seen American Werewolf in London, it's kind of like that kind of transformation, just like bones breaking constantly. It's pretty nuts.
Strange. I can't see how that goes in with the rest of the story, you know, with the cyborgs and all that, but...
It makes sense if you kind of read the codex entries and stuff. It's a little harder if you just watch the cutscenes.
I call first dibs.
I mean, I don't know why anybody would ever watch cutscenes. Just figure shit out for yourself.
And here I wanted to show this part because it's the first time that it lets you choose between two characters to fight as, and it actually creates alternate paths in the story slightly that you can go back and play to get
this is one for the bucket list.
All the unlocks. At the end of every chapter, you get a epic piece of gear for one of the characters in the chapter.
And with that, are there different endings or outcomes to the scenes or anything like that?
From what I can tell, there are two endings to the game. Yeah, only one of the decisions seems to make a impact on the story. Really, this is more just for the fights and a little different cutscenes than you would have had for the other one. But there is a point in the game where you make a choice for which ending you want.
Well, isn't that just the usual these days? You know, you spend an entire game making decisions only to have the very last one actually matter.
Yeah.
This is not me throwing shade at any game in particular. Don't nod.
Yeah. Oh man, they just made an announcement too.
I saw that.
I'm excited.
I am, but I'm also a little nervous
God damn it,
about
God
it. You
damn it,
never
God damn
know.
Oh man. Alright.
Hear me roar.
Don't remember all his moves. Oh.
People laugh at the bow.
Okay.
So I'm very interested in how they ended up at the museum here.
They're in Gorilla City. Grodd's where Grodd lives.
So are these like taxidermy animals? I don't understand.
Maybe? She tried to do her super move on me. I will.
Now, maybe I've just been out of the loop with game news and stuff like that, but I feel like this game kind of came out of nowhere. Like, it just all of a sudden was released and I started seeing it everywhere.
Yeah, they did not really advertise this game much for a while. Like, it kind of went dark for a few months, and then like the last month or so, they've been making a bunch of character announcements. So yeah, it kind of did come out of nowhere a little bit, but it's been pretty well received, especially people that like the first one. And I think it does offer a lot for people that don't normally play fighting games. It has probably some of the most single-player content I've seen in a fighting game for sure.
Him while the other snips his tubes.
Ouch.
His venom tubes, Ollie.
How kind of Batman.
I mean, one thing I can say for sure, and this is kind of the truth even with the last game, it's nice to look at. That's, you know, one thing that they definitely accomplished.
Yeah.
Go.
All right, play this. Okay.
Little birdie, you will sing a song of pain.
Oh, I'll sing a song, but you'll feel the pain.
Oh god.
It just looks like a dude from Mortal Kombat, except he's buff.
It is Bane.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, yes. His claim to fame is he broke Batman's back one time, and he loves to remind people that he did that.
Prepare for unrelenting pain.
All right.
Oh man.
Oh, and you've noticed this game has a bunch of background interaction stuff. You just press R1 with it, and in the first game it was more like heavy characters did more attack stuff, and light characters usually had an extra movement with it. But they kind of evened it out this one, and so that now almost all of them involve damaging the other character. So. Okay.
Ollie, now.
As you can see, I got a reward of a loot box and some coins for that fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're always getting stuff in this game, and I will get the loot after we're done with the story mode, because that is a huge part of this game.
Now where's that damn dirty ape?
So the coins is that? What is that for purchasing?
Loot, and there are. This is the guy. Oh, this is the guy that I had no idea who he was. This is Dr. Fate.
As darkness falls,
Dr. Fate?
That is not someone I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
in the past, I have shielded you from danger.
Fair.
But a grave crisis
I don't know how. I don't know why he's a doctor. I don't know where he went to school at.
Grodd and company? We've got that covered.
Grodd is the pawn of a much greater master. A new
But
order
he
is coming. I
he
have foreseen
he
it.
comes and goes in the
Listen
story a
to me
few
now,
times.
While I can still save you.
If that's the case, we're staying here. Batman will need our help.
I mean, this just goes to show you, like, you could go through medical school and make good money, but money's not everything. You can still go crazy.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he couldn't find a job coming out of school. I mean, that's
The
kind of a big
doctor's
problem
been
these
wearing
days.
that helm
I
for
know.
too long.
Like,
Let's help him
a
out.
college degree is just not enough anymore.
Cover me.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And then also when you see certain hospitals and like, you know, TV where the doctors are dying constantly, that might also be a little bit of a deterrent for getting into the field once you're there.
Oh god. You know, what's something I've never mastered in fighting games is the art of blocking. I just never think about block. I hardly ever think about blocking, and that's why I get my ass kicked online occasionally.
If I take a selfie,
You know, I just think, you know, blocking
That's
for
kind of how I am in any game, though. I mean, it's just something I never really remember. I feel like it's a waste of time. I'd rather get an extra couple attacks in, and then I end up regretting it.
Yeah, but it's just like in fighting games, it's such a big, like, knowing your opponent's like frame animation and like the timing and stuff, and being able to counter that is such a big part of it. Like, actually, let me for a second. I'm gonna go to the move list. I gotta show you some stuff. This has a pretty in-depth move list here. If you look to the right, you can see the move data, and it tells you what each move, like where they hit at, the damage they do, and the block damage they do. If like because there's chip damage in this game, so you can get that, and then it even has the frame data for the move, like how many frames it takes to start the attack, to do it, and then to recover from it. So, and then block advantage, hit advantage, and cancel. It's really, it's some stuff that I don't understand, but
Yeah, I definitely don't either.
But I mean, I at least understand the terminology. But I've never like gotten good enough to know how to use this. But this is really interesting for people that want to really get into fighting games, I think.
Yeah, I guess, but one of the things that I just wouldn't really understand is, like, obviously I know what frames are, and I know, like, recovering and all that other stuff, but, like, how do you actually count that and calculate that when you're playing the game?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what those people at like Evo and fighting tournaments. That's what they just do it, like they just know it now. I think
I mean,
it's just
good for them. They have to be good at something, I guess.
that's the spirit. But yeah, I just wanted to show that really quick. People that really want to get into fighting games, that's a pretty cool thing to put in there, I think. Something I'll probably never use, but it's nice to know it's there. Oh, you fucker. Also, if you press, you got your light. It's a light, medium, heavy game, so 3 buttons, and then circle is every character has their unique character power. Like Green Arrows here is just literally shoot arrows. Like he can. So he's got a projectile right on one button, which can be kind of frustrating for people that are just getting into fighting games. You know, learning how to handle projectiles can be kind of frustrating. But it's not as unbalanced as it sounds. Some people will increase their damage. Some people get an assist character with them. Some
your headgear really had you
create
going.
traps. It's a pretty wide variety of character powers.
Thanks to you, I'm back in charge.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of those things that would always annoy me about fighting games is the ranged attacks, because there was just no way that I could ever figure out how to avoid those.
What, Kent?
Yeah, and there are some new things they add in here. Like I did not show the meter burn stuff, but as the meter fills at the bottom, if you hold R2 when you're doing moves at certain times, you can extend the combo on that move, or change the move up a little bit. And also, they've added to this game, if you double tap forward and press R2, you will. It costs 1 or 2 meters. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Come on, let's find Grodd and get
I think
the
it's
hell
2.
out of here.
But it's a dash roll, so you can cover a lot of ground much faster, which can help you get past a lot of projectile stuff. And also, they increased the movement speed on characters from the first one, so
happy to check out,
that's also
but you're coming with us.
gonna help with the zoning problems people have. Oh, and also Gorilla Grodd is psychic.
Fighting a talking ape wasn't enough. Had to throw
Oh,
in
okay.
Yeah,
This wannabe tyrant is mine.
you know,
Your bravado is empty, Canary.
he's a talking psychic ape.
Like the rest of your kind, you will soon kneel before me.
Is this
Kneel
a
before
real
Grodd,
thing, or did
that's
they just make it for the game? Because
Nope,
I've never heard of him.
You remember the Super Friend, like meanwhile, the League of Doom, or whatever the hell they said. He was part of the League. He was actually a pretty big part of that show. So he's been around for a long time. He's in the Flash show every once in a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he's actually a relatively well-known villain. In DC, at least. DC does have some dumbass shit in it, though.
I mean, I've definitely noticed in comparison to Marvel, and I feel like what little bit of knowledge I do have is probably more on the Marvel side.
Marvel is a little more, because it deals less with multiverse stuff. Like DC is constantly doing time travel stuff and parallel universe stuff, and it gets a lot. It gets to be a lot, and damn it. So that can be frustrating, and then outside of like the big like 5 or so characters in DC is like they just not a lot of exposure outside of comics to them, like outside of like Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, and Batman. Like not many people can name other characters like more than those 5, and even Green Lantern might be a little obscure at this point.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they probably would only be able
and
to
Aquaman.
name the ones that
Yeah.
have the TV shows. And,
Yeah.
and, you know, the movies that have been coming out in recent years.
And because those movies have not been particularly good, that has not helped either.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Because I mean, all comics have their own brand of stupid.
I'll crank up the
Like,
volume.
their names and things that happen. But Marvel has just kind of made their stupid a little less noticeable recently. Oh damn it, I lost. Alright. It's hard to talk and play, but you know, that's what we're doing. Okay. That is good enough there though. Let's head back to the main menu and look at some loot. And also we get to look at the roster while we're doing that too. Alright, first I'm going to go to the Brother Eye Vault, because if with that glowing yellow thing it tells me that I have some loot boxes. Actually, first... yeah, I'll go in there first. We got bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and diamond, and then you also have guild loot boxes, because you can join a guild in this, and you can get loot boxes from the guild. And I'm not sure if they give you different things, or if it's just more loot boxes. I feel like there has to be like a higher odds for certain stuff in the guild loot boxes. But and then you can buy bronze, silver, and gold with, if you look at the bottom, there's 4 fucking currencies in this game.
Oh my god.
The coins, which I have almost 205,000 of, are used to buy. You can use bronze, silver, and gold. Platinum and diamond you can get platinum and diamond from certain activities. Although diamond, I think I've only gotten one from beating the story. I don't know if I've ever gotten another diamond. But they can be had in multiple ways. But they're the only ones that you can buy with actual money, I think, and you cannot buy them with coins. And then the bronze, silver, gold guild ones you can buy with the second currency there, which is the guild credits thing from doing stuff in the guild. Yeah. So a lot of currency stuff here. Alright, I'll open these first, and I'll get to the other 2 currencies. Alright, let's see. And you get a few assortments of things. One thing I do not like, I got a color, some poison ivy arms and some swamp thing legs. And next to each item, you can see the level, a number in the top left corner. Like the swamp thing legs say 3. That means they are level 3 gear, which means only a level 3 swamp thing can wear them, because your characters get levels in this. Max level being 20. And one thing I don't like about the loot thing is that in these pictures you cannot see actually what the loot looks like until you put it on your character in another menu, which is really annoying.
So these little icons there are just the default pictures for those characters?
Yes, they're just the default icon.
Okay.
Alright. Let's see. Aquaman arms, some Green Arrow legs. It's got a pretty good loot box open animation, not quite Overwatch. Got some cool shaders, but it's the controller does rumble when you're doing it, which is always a plus. Okay. And gold one. All right. And the gear has types. There's common, rare, epic. Oh, I thought there was I think that's all that there are. I think there's only 3 types. And they all have different effects on them, different stats. And you can now, alright, and then there is regenerate gear, which if you put it in there, you can take a lower level piece of gear and raise its level to your current level, and it will also re-roll its stats. And you can choose to keep, and that is used with the green token, which is a regen token. And you can choose to keep the new one or keep the old one based on how you like the re-roll and the stats. And then transform gear, you use the gold, what the fuck are they called? Source tokens, I think. And you can change the look of a item you're wearing to one of a previous item. So if you like the way something looks, but it's not the level you want it to be at, you can switch it. You can change it to something. You can keep the stats of the good one and change the look of it to the one you like.
I mean, that's good that you have a lot of customization options then.
Yes, it's I think that's a big factor in it too. Also, when you open loot boxes, the things that come out of it are usually around the level you're at when you get the loot box. So it's recommended to open them as soon as you get them. There. All right. Okay, here we go. Customize characters. And we'll go through the roster this way too. We got Aquaman here. You know Aquaman.
Unfortunately.
He's actually a pretty great character in the Injustice ones in terms of us playing. He's one of the better characters, and his super move is pretty great also. All right, we got some. See, and you look at the stats. He's got strength 13 and ability 10. I believe ability is for like increasing your meter, like having a little more meter. So I'm gonna keep the old ones, and you can see it's all cosmetic. You can see everything changes on the character. It's pretty much everything the character has is customizable. You can unlock new abilities for them that work just like new super moves. And then you have colors also that you unlock. So, okay. Got Atrocitus. Ever heard of Atrocitus, Brittany?
Is that a color?
that is a Green Lantern villain, or
okay.
he is a Red Lantern, which the lanterns are powered by like different emotions. Like his is like wrath or rage, and then green is will, and yellow is fear.
Okay, but he has a cat.
Yes, Dex Star, and you can customize the cat.
That is probably my favorite thing I've seen so far.
Yeah, he is your character power. You press circle and he comes out, and he has a bunch of different moves you can have him do while he's floating above you. So yes, he has a cat. And if I... Okay. Alright, I'll get out of here. And I'll go to the actual roster to be easier that way. Okay. We've got Swamp Thing. We've got Cyborg. Have you heard of Cyborg?
I don't think I have.
He is in Teen Titans, and he's also part of the Justice League event. So, when he's a teenager, he's a Titan. When he's an adult, it's Justice League. He's gonna be in Justice League, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, Catwoman. Everyone knows Catwoman. Pretty much most Batman characters at this point people know. We have the Flash. I have the Reverse Flash skin from the Ultimate Edition that I bought for this, which also gave me access to the 9 DLC characters coming eventually over time. But got Green Lantern, Harley Quinn. Have you heard of Batman?
I'm not sure.
He's
Can you be a little more specific?
He's have you? He's like this dude, and he's got a lot of money, and he hates crime. Just hates it. So he dresses up and punches crime right in the face. Also, his parents died. That's a big part of him. But yeah, he's a bit of an older character. He hasn't been around for a while. We've got Random Select. We've got Superman here. The Joker, and sadly they decided to go with a more Jared Leto style Joker for this game. I'm not personally a fan of that style. I wish they would have gone with a more classic looking Joker.
Well, I'm assuming they probably have skins for that'll change it, right?
Yes. If you see the character loads the original one and then switches to my version that I have there currently. But I have yet to see a more classic Joker look. And I'll show you a place where you actually get to see a lot of different costume stuff. Atrocitus we talked about, Gorilla Grodd we talked about, Alloy, or Cheetah as she's now known, we've talked about. She's a Wonder Woman villain, I believe. Deadshot, he's an assassin. Poison Ivy, loves plants. Brainiac, he is the villain of this game. So
wait a minute, wasn't Deadshot a character in Borderlands?
No, that was I can't remember his name now.
I feel like it was something similar, and that's why I'm getting confused.
Okay, we've got Bane. He broke Batman's back. I don't know if you knew that. Scarecrow. He changes into this like monster form because he's just a psychiatrist, but he has fear gas, and when he sprays the fear gas, he changes into this more monster form. That's what you play. That's what you fight as. You've got Robin. This is the Damian Wayne Robin, son of Batman, raised by the League of Shadows, and he's the most asshole of all the Robins because the League of Shadows is a bunch of assassin ninja people, and he hates that Batman doesn't kill people, so he's kind of a dipshit. Captain Cold, one of the dumbest names for a character. He comes from the Flash universe. Black Adam.
Does he live in Alaska?
No, it's not cold enough for him in Alaska.
Oh. Global warming.
Yeah, he's actually a big, metaphor for global warming and its many dangers. We got Black Adam here, not black. He is a Shazam villain who was in the first one, not in this one. I think he dies in the first game. I think Superman kills him. It's been a while. Wonder Woman, she's a woman. Dark Side, who I got for pre-ordering the game. If you don't follow the Marvel movies, but he's like the DC equivalent to Thanos. I don't know which one came first. Black Canary, talk about her. Aquaman, he likes to swim. Firestorm, he is two people fused together. Blue Beetle, this dude found this alien suit, and now he wears it. And it gave him Dr. Fate. We saw Green Arrow, and we've seen Supergirl. So yeah, it's a pretty big roster, you know, and they're all pretty viable. I definitely have my favorites already, but and they all have a bunch of gear to unlock, and which changes their look dramatically, as you can see when their characters load into what I play as. So.
Now, does that actually change their looks in the cutscene?
Yeah, it does when not in the story mode. The story mode, they're in their standard costume, but yes, before every fight, they are wearing whatever you have on. Otherwise, and and all that gear carries stats with it, and that carries into online if you do a unranked match. In ranked matches, you can still wear all your gear, but all characters are raised to level 20, and everything is evened out. There's no bonuses for your gear, because the bonuses actually will make your character better than other characters. So, but they compromised with it, because it wouldn't be very fun in ranked to lose just because you hadn't unlocked some cool gear someone else had randomly.
Yeah, I could see that becoming a problem.
Alright, and let's save that for a second. I'll go to this really quick. In multiplayer, there's this thing called the AI Battle Simulator, which is another way to get loot. And you can create, you can assign your defenders to your team. Let's see who I got here. Let's use my highest level characters. Probably Deadshot, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Okay.
Deadshot.
So what does this actually do? So I'm not familiar with this.
This is new. This is it's mostly just a way to collect loot when you're offline. Since I have my defenders assigned, and you go to fight, and the defenders will. All right, when you go here to fight, you select your opponent, and these are other people defenders that they've put, and you can see their win-loss, their levels of each one, and let's see who I want. I'll pick this. Let's go with this guy, and now I will pick my three characters. I'll go with the same ones I had.
Deadshot. Batman.
And you're basically, and now this will be an AI fight, and you can do this is totally optional. And if you win, if your AI characters win, you get a gold loot box. If they lose, you get a bronze loot box. So, and if you can sit there and watch it, or like I'm about to do, you can press the touchpad and move it up to 4 times normal speed. And it's best 2 out of 3.
Okay, so this is not actually you playing?
No, this is AI fighting each other. So we'll see how this goes. This is the clash system. When characters clash, you can bet amounts to your meter. The one that initiated, if they bet more, then they get a certain amount of health back, depending on how many bars more they had than you. If you bet more than they did, if the person that initiated it does not bet more, they lose health based on how many more bars you bet. It's you can only activate it in your second health bar, but it's a good way to create a bit of a comeback too. It's also a risk reward system because you're sacrificing your ability to do more powerful moves. and your super move.
Now, wasn't there something similar to that in the first game? Because
Yes.
it was something that would come up a lot, and I honestly did not know what I was doing at any point.
Yes, it is a very big part of the first game. It's a little more well explained here,
Your next stop.
I think.
Hell will freeze over first.
And also they've created a little more voice lines. They have a lot more voice lines in this game to make stuff like that a little less repetitive, seem a little less repetitive. The AI is also much more likely to do it in this game than I think they were in the first one.
Batman wins.
All right, well, I won the first two, so that's all we need. We don't even need to see the third one. And I got my gold loot box. So yeah, there's that. And you can go to the battle log. You can see what you got here. This is my attacking one, my defending one. And my defenders, they will, if anyone attacks them while I'm it will update me, and I will get either a bronze loot box or a gold one, whether they win or lose. So you're getting loot boxes without really having to do much, and you can customize the AI characters differently than the way your normal characters are customized also. All right. Now here is the multiverse, and this is the biggest piece of single-player content. The story is a big part, but it's only a few hours long. This is where the real meat is. It is a constantly updating service where it can last anywhere from a week. An event can last anywhere from a week to a couple hours. And each event has different things about it, different changes to the fight. Like sometimes you'll have a assist character. Some created it to where you can't, like, it turns off the lights in the match every few seconds. So and just stuff like, and different things like that. Sometimes it's just a straightforward like ladder, you know, climbing it, beating a certain amount of characters. And okay, who do you want to see?
Maybe Wonder Woman, I guess, because of all the DC characters, she's probably the one that I do like the most.
Yeah, I've heard good things about the movie, by the way, from early reviews before it comes out next month. People are liking it so far.
I mean, as someone who really does not like, I don't go to the movies much in general, especially not to see superhero movies. It's one that I probably would see if there was somebody that wanted to go watch it.
I plan on seeing it. I'm not a big Wonder Woman fan, but I like. I mean, if it's good, I mean, that's great.
The previews look
daughter
decent.
of Zeus.
Yeah.
It looks interesting enough to keep my attention.
Swallow your pride. Taste my blade.
I actually like Wonder Woman in this one quite a bit, at least playing as her. She's also kind of a piece of shit in the story, but you know, what are you gonna do? Her power is you get the random boost. Some are damage, some are speed, defense. I don't remember what all of them, which one is which. Oh shit, I did too far. There we go. Okay, he came towards me. Never mind. I think the super moves embrace the dumbness in a really good way. They're over the top. I will show you some of my favorites actually. All right. But yeah, that was just a straightforward ladder, and you get up. I mean, you get credits for it. You upgrade your profile. You upgrade your character you played as, and see modifiers. Yeah, things falling on the. This one is things falling into the arena that are going to regenerate health or degenerate health. So you got to watch out for that. So it's it's
start with a warm-up.
And then sometimes they have special challenges in a fight, like do 5 jump attacks, land 5 jump attacks, and you'll get some extra credits for that. But alright, get out of here. Go to the event select, I'll show you. And then they also have the standard ladder mode. It's kind of hidden, they don't really bring it up, but in a thing called the battle simulator over here. This is where you get the character specific endings, which are pretty standard in fighting games to have that. Let's see. I'll show you. Flash probably has my favorite super move, so I'll show you that really quick. Then I'll do an online match, and we'll call it a day. I'll get my ass kicked really quick online. It'll be fun for everyone.
Send me back to my time.
That is not my place.
I think you're gonna reconsider.
But yeah, also these opening dialogue between characters, like every character has a unique dialogue with one another, and there's always a couple, and even with themselves, like they have a weird dialogue with themselves, which is always really funny.
I mean, I like that though, because I hate games that will have some kind of action that happens like 400 times in the course of you playing the game, and it's just the same 1 or 2 pieces of dialogue over and over again. Like, there's no variety.
Yeah, I've been playing this game all week, and I still have not. I don't think I've seen all of them yet, because I have not seen every character combination yet. I don't think. And like I said, there's at least 2 for each set of characters. Flash's special move is he slows down time. I like that move. I like that move where he does the super fast punches, and then they wait for them to catch up to him. Oh, wait 1 second. Where is it? Oh, it's. Yeah, isn't it back? Whatever. Alright, this is my favorite super move. Flash grabs them, throws them into the Sphinx, takes them through time again, into a T-Rex, and then into themselves from the future.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty good. There are some other really good ones. Aquaman's is good. Brainiac's is really funny and over the top. Oh, and I level up level 5, so he gets extra character slots, and I get a unique icon hero card for that. And when you're doing things like that, you will randomly get loot, which is generally tied to the character you're playing as. You at least get a piece of loot for that character usually. And then you also get loot boxes for finishing this. But I'll duck out of here. Alright, that's the multiverse. It creates a lot of content for players that don't want to play online as much. Here's the guild page. Usually, when you check it every day, it'll give you loot boxes for things people in the guild have done. I just joined one randomly just to get that bonus, and you can go to the guild multiverse, which is full of challenges that your guild has to slowly beat over time. Like every one of these has to be beaten a certain amount of times, and certain characters, like they're like boss characters, you have to fight. You have to beat multiple times for them to actually be fully defeated. So it's that's a whole nother system you can interact with or not in this game. And then I'll take it online here. Alright, you can find rooms, you can do private matches. The player match is the unranked, and it also is where King of the Hill is, which I like King of the Hill personally. That's where you join a room and you watch two people, and it's, I forget the max, like 8 or 10 or something like that. But the two people at the top fight, winner stays the king, loser goes to the bottom of the ladder, and you move up, and you also bet on who's going to win. And you just wait your turn to see who can dethrone the king. But I'll just
now, even if you're not the one to win, do you get anything from betting and betting on the right result?
I think if you bet correctly, you get some XP for that. So, and also anytime you take part in a match, win or lose, you're getting XP for your character. It's much less for losing, but you still get something. All right, I'm gonna do a ranked match here. And this is gonna go poorly. And you can, it'll occasionally ask you if you want to accept or not, sometimes, if you're searching, but, okay, and also tell you the odds that you think you have of winning the match.
Deadshot. Catwoman.
Oh, God. And also, if you each pick a different map, it'll randomly select. Sometimes it'll pick a map that neither you picked, just because it's just for the fuck of it. But okay, just want to show off the netcode really fast. I have yet to have really any lag issues in this. Oh God, yep, there it goes.
Now, how fast is the matchmaking? Does it seem like there's a lot of people playing, so you don't really have a lot of wait time?
Yeah, so from what I've noticed, I have not really had a lot to worry about.
Careful, you might get robbed.
I don't like Deadshot's move. Also, they totally murder the shit out of people in this, and it's because they're superheroes. It's like, oh yeah, they're fine. Even the ones that are actually not really superheroes and just dudes. And like Batman's is he launches up into the air with his, and then he calls in the bat plane, whatever the fuck it's called, the Batwing, that's what it's called. And it just tells it to shoot its turret at it and launch rockets at the person, like a lot too. So that's really. Yeah, I mean, Brainiac's him shooting a giant space laser right onto the person. All right, that's it. I see I did smashingly in that. And after a match, it'll say if you want to find your next one or not. You can hit yes or no, and it'll instantly go into matchmaking for you, which is nice. But yeah, that's kind of injustice, Brittany. It's a lot of game.
I mean, I like that they actually added a lot to it this time around, because with the first one, it was one of those things where I told you before we started that I kind of played it out of obligation to finish it, I guess. There wasn't a whole lot keeping me interested, but I like all the different customization that you could go through, the leveling up of characters, and just the variety of different things you could do with the game now.
Yeah, I think they really, because the idea of putting loot into a fighting game kind of worried some people that are into the more competitive side of it, but I think they struck a really good balance with it, allowing for the ranked and unranked to be separate things, and also allowing the customized character to at least keep the look also the entire time. And also in the multiverse, you can see a lot of different costumes you can get. It's just a lot of variety. No, characters rarely look the same. From color schemes, different masks, extra abilities and stuff like that. It's a lot to unlock, and you're constantly getting stuff to do it. So it doesn't really feel like a grind ever. And yeah, I think they've really created something really great for a lot of different video game fans. So I recommend it to anyone, because it's just like, even if you don't want to play online, there's a shit ton to do here. So yeah, thank you for joining me, Brittany.
Alright, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Alright.